Has the thought ever crossed your mind? What would happen if the world stopped using the US dollar as the global reserve currency? Imagine a world where the greenback no longer dominates the global economic stage, where the value of your investments, your savings, even the price of your coffee, is not tied to the health of the US economy. This is the world of de-dollarization, a concept that challenges the very foundation of our current financial order. Intriguing, isn't it? Let's dive into this thought-provoking concept. De-dollarization is not a new Hollywood movie, but a real-world economic strategy. It's like a global game of Monopoly where countries are looking to diversify their cash reserves beyond the ever-popular greenbacks, the US dollar. Historically, several nations have toyed with the idea of de-dollarization. For instance, China, with its growing economic prowess, has been pushing the use of its currency, the yuan, in international trade. Similarly, Russia, feeling the squeeze from US sanctions, has also been reducing its reliance on the dollar in favor of other currencies and gold. These moves aren't just for the thrill of it. Countries seek de-dollarization to reduce the impact of US monetary policy on their economies, to bolster their own currencies, and to mitigate the risk of potential sanctions. They're like financial survivalists, preparing for any economic storms that might come their way. So it's clear that de-dollarization is more than just a buzzword, it's a strategy with real implications. But where do precious metals come in? Are they the superheroes ready to save the day? Let's dive into it, shall we? Precious metals like gold and silver have been the unsung heroes of global economy for centuries. They've been around since the time of the pharaohs, long before the dollar made its debut. Unlike paper money, these metals can't be printed on a whim. They are tangible, finite resources that hold intrinsic value. So how do they act as a hedge against economic instability? Well, imagine you're on a sinking ship. You'd want a lifeboat, right? In the world of finance, precious metals are that lifeboat. When economies wobble and currencies falter, investors often turn to gold and silver as safe havens. They are seen as a secure store of value, especially during times of economic uncertainty. In fact, there have been times when these metals have even replaced the dollar. Take a look at the 70s, when the US abandoned the gold standard. The price of gold skyrocketed as investors flocked to it for safety. And even today, countries like Russia and China are increasing their gold reserves, potentially as a hedge against the dollar. So, while the dollar might be the star of the show, precious metals are waiting in the wings, ready to step in when needed. They've proven their resilience time and again, remaining valuable even when fiat currencies have crumbled. It seems that precious metals might not be just for jewelry after all. Now, as we look into the crystal ball, what does the future hold for de-dollarization and precious metals? Envision a future where geopolitical tensions escalate, leading to a wider adoption of de-dollarization. Countries might begin to trade more in their own currencies, or in a basket of currencies, reducing the dominance of the dollar. In this scenario, precious metals like gold, silver, or even platinum could gain prominence as a hedge against currency volatility. But let's not forget the role of economic policies. Central banks around the world could adopt policies that favor their own currencies over the dollar. Meanwhile, technological advancements might pave the way for digital currencies, potentially disrupting the traditional monetary system. However, it's worth noting that these scenarios are not set in stone. The future of de-dollarization and precious metals is shaped by a complex interplay of factors, not least of which are the actions of governments and market participants. Only time will tell if the dollar's reign will end, and if precious metals will take the throne. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We've taken a deep dive into the concept of de-dollarization, a global economic shift away from the US dollar as the world reserve currency. This movement is fueled by nations desiring greater financial autonomy and the growing distrust in fiat currencies. We've also explored the role of precious metals, particularly gold and silver, as a reliable store of value. They've been the bedrock of monetary systems for centuries, and in a de-dollarized world, they may regain their sparkle. Looking ahead, we've discussed potential future scenarios. While no one can predict with certainty, the winds of change are blowing, and they carry the scent of a world less dominated by the dollar. In this fascinating economic dance, precious metals might just take the lead again. Remember, the world of economics is as dynamic as it is intriguing. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning.